Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Peter Sash and I'm a strategic analysis consultant, and I'm here to help you come up with an idea to make Oroton back on top. Now, we all know about the voluntary administration in 2017 that harmed the business, the corporation, and ultimately its future. Australia has a moderate concentration where Oroton has 4 competitors that make up approximately 50% of the market. Now, luxury has dramatically increased in Australia over time, and this is because of middle-class consumers pairing basic apparel items with a luxury handbag. Now, during the 2020 global pandemic of COVID-19 has hit the Australian economy pretty hard and dramatically decreased the purchases of luxury goods. Due to the uncertain environment that this holds, Oroton should look into international markets in potential to see if luxury items could be sold overseas. Now, with this analysis being made, it was identified that South Korea is a potential market. South Korea has had potential economic growth, making this country a very big influence on surrounding nations. Low income inequality has fueled luxury spending, especially amongst the millennial group. Now, during COVID-19, it has not dramatically hit as hard as the Australian economy, especially within the luxury market, where it increased by 8%, which is a big deal. Now, with South Korea, this could be for 2 reasons. One, not just because of the pure joy that luxury brings, but because of peer pressure. Now, in South Korea, luxury items have grown increasingly so, like Australia, as you can see here over the years. Now, this is because that the items have become more of a status of wealth. This is because of the collectivist nation that South Korea is. Now, because of this, it's become more of a symbol, a highly desired item. This has created demand for luxury where the motivation is from self-fulfillment and personal satisfaction. By looking at the country, we used a pestle analysis to show that the regulatory inefficiency and embrace of FDI has led to the country to be 5th on the ease of doing business ranking, which is a big deal. The Index of Economic Freedom has labeled South Korea as being mostly free, which is great for businesses new and old, in the fact that they'll have little hindrance from the government. With this positive comes some obstacles. An obstacle being corruption, with a score of 59 out of 100, 100 being pretty clean, 100 being clean. This is a pretty average score. Now, this can be seen due to a group in South Korea called the Sherpas, which are a large group that control public policies through powerful lobbies, which have been accused of tax evasions and having monopolistic practices. Now, picture this group having a spiderweb over the country and having very groupist, very controlist type of nature over everything that happens. So this group has high ties and they look after one another. They hire within families, within each other's businesses, like LG and Hyundai, 2 examples of very high, powerful companies. So this company pretty much runs the company's GDP and has high ties and political outcomes. So this is a big threat. If Oroton was to enter into South Korea and to compete with one of these companies that are affiliated with this company, it could be a big threat and a big obstacle for Oroton to handle, meaning we need to enter in a safe way. Now, by having said this, there's positive and negatives, but one more positive is the 2014 free trade agreement signed between South Korea and Australia. This eliminated all tariffs relating to handbags and similar products to 0%, which is a huge advantage for Oroton. Now, we looked at the micro outlook using Michael Porter's 5 forces analysis. This helped to identify the attractiveness developments in the competitive environment. Using this, we were able to identify that South Korea has a moderate concentration with 4 key players, very similar to Australia. And by using this, we were able to identify, due to the competition and the fact that luxury items are a very price-sensitive product, that cost strategies would not really work. Now, because of this, we also outlined a SWOT analysis using strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. By outlining the weaknesses such as voluntary administration and strategic mishaps that have happened over the years, we're able to outline that using Michael Porter's generic strategies, a differentiation approach would work, where we would put focus on quality compared to the competition. Now, also looking at the opportunity section, we're able to identify a target market, being the millennial group. This is the highest consumer of luxury goods in South Korea. As well as this group shops for satisfaction because of their busy lifestyle. Now, they buy products because they make them look good and unique, which connects to the collectivist nation that I've mentioned earlier. On top of this, millennial markets, they take pride in looking for stuff that's new and exciting, which can relate to the differentiation strategy I've just mentioned. Now, what is this market? What are they buying? So the female market, they are buying crossbody handbags that are small, that appeal to their outfits. And male consumers, which are a very highly increasing market in the luxury goods, are pairing with tote bags and backpacks. Now, Oroton, already making these products, can ship them to South Korea very quickly and at ease. But how? Well, in entry mode, being a safe entry, would be recommended to use the Uppsala model. By using this, we'll be able to get market knowledge slowly, putting the focus more on process, the process on knowledge development. When using this model, it's also appropriate to use an agent via direct exporting. When using an agent, it's recommended to do commission-based rates. This will give Oroton full strategic planning over the operation, where they'll be in control of pricing, marketing and everything, as well as having a high profit margin. Now, agents are a great advantage to internationalization because you'll be able to do it at a fast pace and at a cost-effective rate. Now, when working with an agent, you might be thinking about the cultural differences and it might be a bit scary. However, using Hofstede cultural analysis, we'll be able to mitigate any worries or concerns that the company has. By looking at this, we can see that South Koreans respect hierarchical social order. You can see this in the power distance column, where South Koreans will respect. So with Oroton, it comes as a benefit. Having a CEO or operational at a high level, it will appear to be a good thing when working with an agent. As well as this, you'll have collectivism, which has been mentioned. Relationships are taken very seriously in South Korea. And if a relationship is not established or maintained, well, a business person might never get beyond the point of an outsider. So friendship first, client second in South Korea. Now, how are you going to make money? What are we going to do? So in the SWOT analysis has identified that a pop-up store has become increasingly important aspect in South Koreans' retail environment. Now, appealing to the differentiation strategy, you use the pop-up store to sell the handbags in a different, creative and innovation way, making a new experience. But it's recommended to use one more approach, the blue ocean strategy. By attaching this and reinventing the way we sell handbags rather than an expensive building, you'll be able to make competition relevant and finding new demand. So, how will we do this? South Korean consumers view Australian as clean, a green environment producing quality products. By bringing over Australian heritage like exotic animals and putting a vision of like a rainforest with a calm feeling, giving consumers a memorable experience is the way to go. By focusing on the consumer experience and value innovation, you'll be able to capture uncontested market, making the competition irrelevant and redefining the category. By following all of these strategic ideas that I've come up with, I believe that the Australian luxury symbol of Australia will be able to internationalize on a great level. This will be able to save the company and be able to give it profit over this uncertain environment that we're in. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.